Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you a really quick and easy card using the Delicate Lace Edgelits die. I was inspired to make this card after I saw a card on Pinterest by a demonstrator named Yvonne Pree, P-R-E-E. I saw her card and done in a coastal cabana, and I just loved it, so I had to case it. Now I jazzed it up with some black and some red to make kind of a fancy look with it, but I did love her card in coastal cabana and silver. She made a pretty wedding card. So simple to make. We're going to be using the Strong and Beautiful stamp set. This will be carrying over, yay. And I love all of these sentiments. At first I thought it was just for Mother's Day because I'm seeing the mother pop out at me, but really it's a great, strong, and beautiful stamp set for women. So as you can see on this one, I put, I cherish you, my true friend. I know I can always count on you. This one, you are like a diamond, resilient, strong, and beautiful. We're going to make a different sentiment on the card we're going to make, but just a really great card that could be actually a nice gift. Somebody could sit on their windowsill or they could have on their desk. Just a reminder that you're a strong, beautiful woman. So let's get started here. So we're going to use our rectangle stitched framelits to do this cute little cutout here, the die cut around the sentiment, and then I just put some real red right around the sentiment. The easiest part here is we're going to be putting a frame using these lace edgelit dies. And so we're going to start out with a half sheet of thick Whisper White cardstock. I like to use thick Whisper White for a card base because it just is more substantial. Even if you're going to layer onto the front of a card, if you can recall how like flimsy, I love Whisper White. It is the best white to stamp on and everything and to layer with, but I think it just isn't a substantial enough of a card. So I used a thick Whisper White half sheet. We're at 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored it at 4 1/4. And then I just ran through 4 of these real pretty lacy edgelets here. Now this one's kind of a real fancy scroll design. Then there's a neat one that I used on a card with the Follow Your Dreams. It kind of has a Southwestern flair to it. And then of course your basic delicate lacy details with this one. So 3 beautiful dies in that set for under $30. So what I did is I ran those through, and then simply all you have to do is I started with these 2 sides on the left and the right side. So I just put a little layer of glue right along that edge. And then I just made sure all the little pieces were popped out of here. And then you just keep keep watching the side till you get an even placement right here and here, so wherever it might be, and then just make sure your edge is flush with the side of the front of the card. And the reason why I put the glue on the card base is that I think I had a little bit more wiggle room with that, and you can see that I don't have any hangover there, okay? And you can see I have the same amount showing there. And so I'm just going to put that on that side, and then I'm going to put it on the opposite side, on that right side. Just put a little bead of glue along there. Pick up another piece here, and then do the same thing. Look, and just make sure you have the same amount of the scroll design on your paper on each side, on the top and the bottom, along the scored side and the cut side where it opens. And then once again, just make sure it's flush with that edge. Okay, and then we're just gonna find our scissors where are our scissors? There they are, over on my other desk. So here we go. So what we're just gonna do is turn over our card, and we're just gonna snip off these little edges here. Snip, snip, and then snip here without snipping that score. Have you ever snipped a score line and then I just ruined my card? So just right along those edges, and then just get rid of those. My little pups are visiting me today. We took a little trip to a little town here. My husband and I took them to a little town called Mount Dora here in Florida, and we took them on their leashes, and I think it was easier for me to take the two puppies by myself than to take my husband. He's going to be a very doting grandfather. So what we're going to do is put this one up along the folded skirt where we scored, and this one is just as easy to do. You just want to make sure that you have, oh, you know what, guys? Let's make sure we get enough over onto the black here. Okay, and then when you do that, you do the same thing. Just make sure you have about the same amount on each side. So as you can see there, I've got a little bit, whoop, that's when you can usually find out if something isn't popped out. So I got that popped out. So what was going to be my quickest video is turning out to be not. So I just put like right now, I got that under my fingernail, and that's driving me crazy. Okay, so let's just put that, and oh, same thing. I got a little piece stuck there. All right. Oh gosh, when I started this video, I thought this is just going to take me like 6 minutes to do. Okay, so once again, just make sure it's flush with that top part. And you'll see I just took the curve here and the curve here. Gives it a nice even appearance. Look how cute that's. Oh, look, that even looks like a trellis. You could just like leave it that way and then put something in here like a wedding type thing. Wow, that would be cute too. Ooh. And then we'll just put it along the bottom. Excuse me. And so then we're going to put our last piece on here. And again, I'm going to make sure I got those little edges out this time. There we go. Because those little holes, having the paper still in them, they're really helpful for making the placement. So make sure those little holes are out on the side there. And then we're just going to pop that onto. And these delicate lace edgelets are carrying over into the new catalog, which is awesome because we can use them with a lot of, and see, you just have the same amount on each side. Make it flush with that back there. And like I said, it's nice using glue because you have that wiggle room. And then we're going to do what we did before, and we're just going to pop off all these little scraps here. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, there we go. And then you have a nice frame. Now you could stamp directly in here, but I wanted to just put something that popped out from the frame. On Yvonne's card, she had put the foam line dimensionals underneath here, and it did pop up the card, but I found it a little bit easier just to do it flat, but it really does look, her card looks pretty with it being popped up too. So what I did is I just stamped "To the Woman Who Does It All with Grace and Wisdom," and I can think a lot of my friends that I could give this to, and I just stamped it in Memento Black. Got a nice deep rich black stamped image, and then I just measured out about 1/8 of an inch around to make the red border. And I would tell you that that is about 3 inches by 1 5/8. So I did this 3 inches, okay, 3 inches by 1 5/8. And then I just popped it up. Just used up my edges of my dimensionals here, being a good steward of my stamping supplies, and then put another one here. I'm really glad. My friend Cheryl just loved this stamp set, and I was like, yeah, I like that too, but then I just really didn't take a close enough look. I mean, what great sentiments are in there. And this card, I think, is one of those cards that just kind of looks like a picture frame, so you can easily just display it and just be a reminder that for somebody who needs a pick-me-up or just to be reminded. So then we just take that and we pop that into the middle. And I also liked using this rectangle here because it fits just right in there perfectly. And then look at all these beautiful sentiments there that you can make with that. And there's even some other ones that can be, you know, put on the inside that complement the outside. You know, thank you for always being there for me. You've You have truly been a shining example to me because you're like a diamond. So this is a really great stamp set. And it's not just a Happy Mother's Day. It's nice to throw that in there, but it's just a great empowering one for we women. So if you have any questions, you can go to my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com, and you can see how simple that is with the just framing out using the delicate lace edgelets, and just make it with any color you want. It's just done instantly. So if you want to show me a picture of a card you've made using these edgelets and making a frame, you can always text me a picture. I love that. If you have any questions about it, you can email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. If you're looking for this card on my blog, look under my photo on my blog on the right side. There's a search bar. And if you put in there delicate lace edgelets or strong and beautiful, you will find this card and you will find the dimensions in the materials I used. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.